Hey, this is Reverend L with Will You Be Whole? I wanted to do a video on why will you be whole? Why did I start Will You Be Whole? I get that question a lot. And one of the reasons that I started Will You Be Whole was because I wanted to create the very thing that I was looking for at a time in my life when I had a crisis of who I was and trying to figure out who I was as a sexual person, my sexual identity, my sexual orientation, and how I believed as a Christian who was raised and reared in a fundamentalist conservative setting, who only belief, or at least only lessons about sex was to wait until you're married, where there was no space, safe space to dialogue about who I was becoming, who I thought I was becoming, to explore my sexuality and my faith, to be able to ask the tough questions about the Bible, about church teachings. And so I decided on February 14th, 2015, that I would launch Will You Be Whole Ministries. And the whole mission and vision of Will You Be Whole is to offer and support to people in their journey towards wholeness by actively and honestly engaging sex and faith. When I started Will You Be Whole, I wanted to help the very people that look like me. And so I started Will You Be Whole privileging Black women's experience, particularly Black church women. And what I have learned over the last 2 years of my journey is that, yes, Black church women need Will You Be Whole. I also learned that all of us need space and are looking for opportunities to engage who we are as sexual beings and who we are as spirit beings, as people of faith. And so what I recognize today is that Will You Be Whole will always privilege Black women's experience because I am a Black woman. I'm a Black church woman that loves the Black church. But I am also a woman that recognizes that wholeness is for everybody. And as long as you can love Black women, as long as you can move towards wholeness and engage the conversations of sex and faith, then Will You Be Whole is just for you. Now, the ways that I hope to get us engaging about sex and faith is through what I call the 4 I's. And the 4 I's are inform, inspire, investigate, and intrigue. The whole point of Will You Be Whole is so that we get us talking, informing us about issues around our sexuality. That's where me being a sexual health educator comes into play. I'm not just pulling this stuff from the air. I'll make sure that I give you resources and sources so that you can also look it up for yourself. That the informing piece of this work of Will You Be Whole is so that you can make decisions based on accurate, medically accurate, scientifically accurate sexual health information. I let you know that I am real. And so I is informed. 2 is to inspire. One of the things I've learned in my journey is that we are often looking for space within the church community, within our church leaders, to just inspire us to talk about the difficult topics. And so I'm inspiring you to engage your sexuality as you fully believe in who God is, how God is working in your life, what the scriptures say, what you are living your life as a person of faith. And then I want us to investigate, because the reality is that some of the church teachings that we have adopted, some of the ways in which our embedded theology, and we'll talk about that on another video, the ways that we've adopted what our parents have said, what we've learned in society, we need to investigate it. We need to dig deeper into that. And in doing so, we are finding, or at least looking for, our opening of liberation. The investigating allows us to ask tough questions of ourselves, of what we believe, of what we read, right? And in order for us to then be intrigued, that's the last I, to intrigue us on what does sexual wholeness look like for you? What does it mean to be free in who you are as a Jesus loving woman or man, person? Someone who may not love Jesus, but you are spirit filled. You have a belief system that may not be Christianity, but you know that as a spiritual person, you are also sexual. And how do you bring those together? So I'm encouraging you to be informed, to be inspired, to investigate, and to be intrigued. And that is what Will You Be Whole is about. I'm glad that you're here on this YouTube channel with Reverend L, myself. I'm Reverend L. And that we will continue to do those things in individual and clear ways. And I hope that you will continue to engage me over on my website at wholeness.com. I look forward to reading your comments down below and for us continuing this journey to wholeness as we inform, inspire, investigate, and intrigue. Thanks.